for any statement that he may have.
Thank you, Chairwoman. We are 11 months into a new Congress and a new administration, and this is the very first hearing our subcommittee is holding on the Western Hemisphere. President Trump has brought us to the brink of war with Venezuela without the consent of the people. He's carried out extrajudicial killings in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific. He has cut off counter-narcotics cooperation with Colombia, a trusted ally. He sent hundreds to mass detention in El Salvador without any due process, and now threatens strikes against Mexico. He's canceled hundreds of millions in regional programs without explanation to Congress. And all of this has occurred without any hearings at all, without transparency, and without the oversight the Constitution requires. 11 months in, we haven't even had a budget hearing where a senior administration official comes before this committee and explains priorities for Latin America, the Caribbean, and the entire region. By November of the first year, when the Democrats were last in the majority, this subcommittee had held 7 hearings with the administration, testifying at 4 of them. And Chairwoman, I know you pushed for the administration to provide a witness at this hearing. I strongly supported that request, and it's unacceptable that they are refusing to provide a witness for this hearing. In over a decade, actually a dozen years on this committee, I've never seen anything like this. The Republican administration is refusing to provide a hearing, a State Department witness for a Republican chairwoman. I think that's unprecedented, and it shows you the secrecy of the Trump administration. So, Chairwoman, I urge you to hold public hearings with the administration providing testimony on these serious issues in the hemisphere, and I will back up any request to come have the Trump administration testify. The American people deserve to hear what their government is doing, and this committee must exercise our oversight responsibilities. The hearing today, of course, is about Honduras, which will be holding elections in just 10 days. And I'm certainly concerned. It seems that the Honduran people's faith in their electoral institutions is at rock bottom. This is an election where the 3 major candidates could plausibly be within single-digit margins of each other without any runoffs. All 3 major candidates and their parties have made public statements that they do not trust this process, raising the possibility that they will not respect the results of the elections. Free and fair elections are the responsibility of everyone: the government, the opposition parties, the electoral authorities, the military, and the economic elite. The National Electoral Council, the entity responsible for organizing the elections, is deadlocked, under-resourced, and facing intense political pressure by both the government and opposition parties. The Honduran government declared a state of exception in 2022, restricting civil liberties and due process, and significantly restricted the ability of civil society to act freely and independently. We've also seen worrying levels of violence and intimidation against candidates, journalists, and civil society leaders across the political spectrum, which can chill participation and further undermine confidence in the election results. This is a difficult situation that Honduran officials, candidates, and civil society will have to navigate if they are to preserve their democracy. Unfortunately, the Trump administration has not met the moment. At the beginning of the year, the administration ended State Department and USAID programs that supported the rule of law and stronger electoral institutions in Honduras. Right before the critical March primary elections in Honduras, which Hondurans had serious concerns over, the administration cut funding for civil society organizations that would have provided much-needed transparency. The Trump administration has also been unwilling to raise any concerns for most of the year, finally making a statement just a week ago when Deputy Secretary Landau raised concerns. Fortunately, Hondurans in the region seem to be mobilizing. I'm glad that the OAS, the European Union, and other organizations will be sending election missions to Honduras. I urge the government to provide them with the transparency and the freedom to conduct their work. And I'm hopeful that we will see a robust civil society presence at the elections to provide much-needed transparency and hold both the government and opposition parties accountable to democratic values. I echo the OAS's recent call for the Honduran government to respect the independence of the National Electoral Council, which must conduct its work to ensure the elections are held on time. And when the elections are held, I hope that the authorities release verifiable results without delay. We should be principled in standing for democracy and the right of a people to elect their own leaders, regardless of whether the government is on the right or the left. While the United States and the international community can raise concerns and support Honduran society in advancing democratic values and norms, our role is not to pick the leaders of Honduras. And I look forward to hearing from the witnesses at this hearing.
Thank you, Ranking Member. I hardly agree with you on many of the policy issues, but I do have to agree with you what you said.